Let's face it, if you could screw the IRS and get away with it, chances are you would take full advantage. Now, I'm all about paying the right amount of tax, the appropriate amount of tax, but I don't want to pay more tax than I have to, and if I can legally pay less, then I'm going to take full advantage of it. Well, today I'm going to share with you a strategy that allows you to legally, I repeat, legally, to screw the IRS. We're going to find out what that all is right now. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Wealth Hacker Labs. As you can see, we have another edition of the Wealth Board, and we are talking about the Backdoor Roth IRA, one of my most favorite ways that you can legally screw the IRS, and we'll talk why that is and how you do that. First, if you do not know what the Roth IRA is, I highly encourage you to check out the video where I talk about how to become a Roth IRA millionaire. I'll have a link in the description. You get all up to speed on the Roth IRA. Also have a link to my blog where I share about the Roth IRA rules so that you get how it works. Once you get how it works, this will make so much more sense and you'll see why you should be excited to watch it. All right, so if you don't know about the Roth IRA, it is one of the greatest tools for building wealth. Most reason why is because you get tax-free money. That's right, the Roth IRA allows you to accumulate tax-free money, but there are certain situations where you can't take advantage of it. And I know this is what we call rich people problems, but if you make too much money, then you can't contribute to the Roth.
What are your superpowers again? I'm rich.
Now, I am one of those people that suffer from rich people problems. I haven't been able to take advantage of the Roth IRA for several years. And I'll explain why that is. Actually, let's do that right now. All right, so first off, you can put only in a certain amount each year into the Roth IRA. And this is as of 2020. If you are under the age of 50, you're allowed up to $6,000. If you are over the age of 50, go ahead and add an extra $1,000 that you can put in. So that's how much you can put in each year. If you are married, you can't have a joint Roth IRA. You can open up one for yourself and you can open one up for your spouse, and combined you can put in up to $12,000. But once again, if you are rich and you can't take advantage of it, you're just kind of sitting on the sidelines, feeling sorry for yourself. So what does that mean? What does the IRS define as being rich? So if you are single and you make less than $124,000, this is a modified adjusted gross income. So basically you're deducting all your expenses. So if you take up all your expenses and it is less than $124,000, congratulations, you still get to take advantage of the Roth. Yes! Then we begin this phase, a stage what's called phase out. So in between 124,000 to 138,900 is when you start losing that ability to put into the Roth. So if 6,000 is the max that you can put in, it starts, let's say you're making about 130,000. Now you can only put in about 3,000. I'm just rounding about there, but you can go to the irs.gov, find the calculator to find out how much you can put in. And if you are rich, according to the IRS, that means if you're filing single, that means you are making more than $139,000. That means boo-hoo-hoo, you can't do the Roth. Now, if you're like myself, you're married, once again, I can do $6,000 for me or $6,000 for my wife or the both if we didn't exceed these limits. But married, filing joint, the income, modified adjusted gross income is $196,000. That's where it starts. And then we start phasing out between 196 to 205.9. And then if you are making more than $206,000, join the fun party of being able not to take advantage of the Roth IRA. So here you are, sad because you can't do the Roth, but guess what? There is what's called the backdoor approach. There's a way that you can get in through the back door. Now, how this works is, so you can't do the Roth. You can still do your 401k if you have your job. If you have a simple or a SEP IRA through your employer, you can do that. But what you can also do is open up what's called the traditional IRA. and we'll have another video where we can talk about the differences. But essentially, the same thing with the traditional IRA is that if you make over a certain amount and you're putting away into your 401k, at some point in time, the IRS is going to say, okay, you can put into a traditional IRA, but we're not going to give you the tax deduction. So what it is called then is a non-deductible IRA. Just another way of what is referred to as the traditional IRA. So non-deductible means exactly that. You cannot deduct it from your expenses. When you compare the two, the Roth versus the traditional, the Roth, you're going to get tax-free growth. Don't have to pay any taxes when you take it out, but with the traditional, you get that tax-free deduction at the beginning, just like you would a 401k. So that's the attraction. So if you are putting into a traditional IRA and you don't get the tax deduction, yes, you get the tax deferral protection, but other than that, like, that's not really that exciting, except if you want to take advantage of the backdoor Roth IRA. So how would that work? So you would open up a traditional IRA, you would put, let's say, the full amount, $6,000 into that, and then you immediately turn around and then you would convert it to a Roth IRA. And is that a lengthy, involved process? No, it's actually just filling out a simple form. You file it with the IRS, it just says, hey, I want to do a conversion from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, and then boom, that's it. Is there a catch? Yeah, I'm glad that you asked that. So if you already have some pre-tax money, how much you pay in taxes on this conversion can be a big deal, and is one of the reasons why I haven't taken advantage of this strategy, just so much because ever since I've been in the highest tax bracket. So how this looks as, let's say you've got $60,000 in your 401k, it's all been pre-tax, you've been putting money away, taking advantage of that free match, and then you want to do the $6,000 into the non-deductible IRA. So now what the IRS is going to look at is what is the percentage of how much you're going to put in compared to what you already have pre-tax. So this is a simple math formula. That's why I chose it. Didn't have to pull up my phone and break out the calculator, but we are looking at 10% of our non-deductible IRA that we are converting that we have to pay tax on. So we're paying tax on 10% of that $6,000. So now we're looking at about $600 of that, which now it depends on what is our tax bracket. So we are just adding the $600 to whatever income that you make for the year, and then whatever tax bracket you fall into is how much tax you'd pay on that amount. So let's say you're in the 28% tax bracket as an example, take 28% times the 600 and you get a sense of how much tax you're going to have to pay. But as your 401k contributions grow, as your accounts grow, it came a point for me where doing the non-deductible IRA and then converting it, I was paying 40% off the entire balance. I could still probably justify it to do it that way. It just didn't really make sense because what I was able to do is preload the Roth IRA utilizing this strategy, but in a slightly different way. So this is one way that you can do it. A few things to take note is that just here recently, 2020, if you did this and you changed your mind, you could do a Roth IRA conversion take back. IRS took that away. Screw you, IRS. Screw you. So now if you do it, there ain't no going back. Like, you've made that decision, you gotta stick with it. So let me give you a personal example how I was able to take advantage of the Roth IRA conversion. This was a way to get a big chunk into the Roth IRA at one time. We've been talking about doing the non-deductible IRA and converting that into the Roth IRA. But if you have, let's say, a old 401k, if you have an old SEP IRA, simple IRA, or even a 403B. So these are old retirement accounts. That means that you are no longer working for this company or this employer. So they're just sitting there with the plan. You have the ability to convert all of this, just like you would a non-deductible IRA, into a Roth IRA. What? Did I just say that? Yeah, so this is where I'm gonna give you a real life example. I left my first brokerage firm. The company I started with was there for 5 years. I was able to save up, at the time, I believe it was around $40,000 into my 401k. I left and I had to decide if I was going to convert that into a Roth IRA. Now, if you're going to convert anything, especially this large amount, you got to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, can you afford to pay the tax? And then 2, do you want to? Do you actually want to pay the tax? So what I mean is if you are converting all of this, so in my situation, there were no other pre-tax retirement contributions, so this is all I had. So I had to claim all of this as income. So I would have had to add $40,000 of income on top of what I'd already made for the year. That could have put me up in the higher tax bracket, etc. And then I would have to pay that out of pocket. If I didn't, then I would be taxed and penalized for that tax amount. So you got to make sure that 1, can you afford it? And 2, do you want to? Now here is the situation where it worked out really well for me, is that whenever I left, and this is back in about 2008, and for those that don't know this, don't remember, maybe you just weren't investing, this is when the market that year was down 37%. Ouch, ouch. Now for me, I was invested a little bit more aggressively than, I guess, I won't say the market, but just a little bit more aggressively. So my account was down to about, I want to say, $24,000. So I was then able to convert the $24,000 into the Roth and then only pay tax on the $24,000 instead of the $40,000. And because I know that markets come around and the investments that I owned would recover, like I knew, it's like I'm basically able to buy low again and then take advantage of the tax-free growth. This account, my Roth IRA, primarily holds individual stocks right now. I should have checked the balance. I think it's somewhere between 100 to 150K right now. And I haven't added any more money to that. So this is going back to 2009 when I converted it into the Roth IRA, and the 24,000 now has grown to be 100, 150, depending on how well the market's doing, how well those stocks are doing. And that gain is all tax-free when I decide to take it out. And that is an example of how I got to legally screw the IRS and how you can legally screw the IRS. As you can see, there are some moving parts here, right? So if you are one of these high wage earners where you are phased out, you cannot do the Roth, guess what? You still can. That's what's called the Backdoor Roth IRA. The other options, there are no income restrictions on this. Like if you want to convert an old 401k, an old SEP IRA, some other traditional IRAs into that, like it doesn't matter how much you make, you can do it. Just know that whatever you do, you're going to have to pay some sort of tax on that. So make sure that you got the cash handy. You know, for me, I just basically added that $24,000 to my income, took care of it whenever I filed my tax at the end of the year. My CPA let me know how much that was going to be, and it was a no-brainer. And I was able to take advantage of that and say, screw you, IRS. So is this something that you think you need to know more on? Do you need to do more research? Do you have some stuff that you want to convert so that you can get some more tax-free growth? Because is there anything better than tax-free money? I don't know if there is or not. I don't think there is personally, but you let me know. If you enjoyed this video, if you found any value whatsoever, be sure to like, subscribe, share with people that need to know how this works. Take advantage. These are the things that are available to you, to anyone, As long as you do the research, take the time to educate yourself, make your mind wealthy. All right, y'all, until next time, this is Jeff Rose from Wealth Hacker Labs reminding you that it's your life, it's your money, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace.